Hello, this is Amanda with From Where I Stamp near Kingston, Ontario. And this week I'm sharing details about our wonderful Designer Series paper. Designer Series paper to me, or DSP, is a great way to start any project. They are great to use for 3D projects, scrapbooking pages, and for cards. And I find it really easy to start with designer paper because the colors are listed right on the pack of paper. So I keep mine in large Ziploc bags. But here you can see, I'll make the picture bigger in a minute, but you can see there's a list there of the colors in each of the packs. So that way you can know, and it shows you in the catalog too, I'll show you where. But you will know what cardstock or ink colors you'll need to be able to make your project. Or if you just, have too many like I do, then you can look through your packs and decide if those colors are good. And I figured this hand-penned Designer Series paper would be perfect for kind of a January, February cold day to be able to craft with. So I'm going to switch the cameras around and we'll get started. All right, so I'm dealing with yellow today because I'm thinking of daffodils in spring and tulips, and it's a little early still because it's really cold and we have lots of snow here at home. All right, so the annual catalog. This catalog is good until April. So there's still lots of great items. The new mini catalog just came out in January, and there's lots of great items in here too. There's daffodils and tulips. I haven't gotten those yet in here. And so it's always great to see the spring stuff. But I thought of the hand-penned petals because it's been a while since I've created something with it. So it's on pages 104, 105 of the annual catalog. Now, the annual catalog is around for 1 year, where our mini catalogs, we have 2 per year. They come out January to June and July to December. So this one has spring and, well, winter, not really a lot of winter, but, Valentine's, spring, and summer items. Whereas the other one, the July to December, has fall and Christmas items in it. So, and you can order from either catalog. And also starting like in January and February is celebrations. So for every $60 or $120 you spend, you earn free product. And also, I believe, because last year was our first time that we had 2 celebrations, that it'll be in July, August, September. So I don't think those dates have been announced yet, but sign up to my email list and I'll send an email out when I have details for that to you. All right, so back to the hand-penned suite. And we have this lovely color palette. And the colors are listed right here on the page. So page 105, so we have Blushing Bride, Pale Papaya, Daffodil Delight, Garden Green, Mint Macaron, and Highland Heather. And I'm going to use the Hand Pen Petals stamp set. There is a coordinating die. So together you save 10%, $63.75. So if you don't have one of our die cutting machines, then you can get just the stamp set. If you do have the die cutting machine, then you can add those dies on at the same time and save 10% versus if you bought them individually. All right, so the other place is on page 130 through, so 131 is where the hand-penned Designer Series paper is located, and it has the colors listed right down here that are on this paper. So you can look in the catalog and see what colors coordinate with each pack of designer paper. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of designer paper in the annual catalog. I don't own them all, but a good portion of them. All right, so I'm going to put the catalogs down on the ground because I don't think I need them again, but we'll see. So the hand-penned Designer Series paper, I love making this little cheat sheet for myself because even though I have it in a plastic bag, sometimes it's hard to remember, which design's on which side. So these 2, this is the front, that's the back, or vice versa. And the same with all of these. And then I was putting all the colors. I stopped doing that. That was too time consuming, but I do have them listed up here. So this way I can show you all the designs all at once. It's a lot easier to see them. And then when I'm crafting, I know what I'm looking for. And then this hand pen petals stamp set is a photopolymer set. So it is something that you can see through. And all right, so I said I was going to make a Daffodil Delight card. So here, this bright yellow. It looks a little washed out on my screen, but it is very bright. So I have a normal card base, which is half of it 8.5 by 11. And I already have it scored. So just trying to get it kind of squared off there. And then I have a piece of designer paper, and it is about 4 3/4 by 3 inches. So that's going to go down here like so. So have some big borders on either side, but not the top and bottom. Then I have this piece here, which I believe is 2.5 by 4 inches. It's going to go here. And then I have some smoky slate. Last week, this is in January. So if you're watching this later, you may have to scroll back a little bit on Instagram. But I asked, which punch people preferred. And I'd asked if it was the tailored tag, which is my favorite punch, or the everyday label punch, which is kind of my second favorite if I'm not using this one. So I figured I would make a card using the everyday label punch because I asked what people to choose between the two, and it was a toss-up. It was a tie. So I'll show you an option. All right, so we're going to keep these two pieces because we're going to stamp on them. And I'm going to use some Memento Black for the words. And I am going to use thanks, but we also have anything is possible, congratulations, and feel better, friend. So with our stamps, you do need a clear block. You can even, for most cases, you can use just one block. But it will also tell you in the catalog what block you need to be able to use all the stamps. And doesn't really matter here how straight the word is because we're going to punch it out. Clean it up with just our Simply Chamois. And I like putting my stamps back right away. All right, so to punch, you flip it upside down and unlock it. So this is the little lock mechanism. Then slip your paper in and kind of get that straightish, centerish, wherever you think. Punch it out. Recycle the other piece. All right, so there is our nice punched piece all ready to go on our card. We'll set that off to the side. Next up, we're going to grab another block. And I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this. So I grabbed some ink colors. And since the paper here has a black outline, I'm going to do this in a black outline. Oh, I need a different block. So this one is block E. So use Memento again. Ink that all up. And it is going to go across the card this way. So I'm going to stamp here, like so. And I'm going to turn it upside down, I think, and stamp like this. So we're kind of making our own designer paper, which is also something you can do. Is you could take a whole 8.5 by 11 piece of, smoky slate, or even very vanilla, or our basic white, and stamp a bunch of times with any of the stamps. So you can even alternate between these, or even just the big background images, and just make your own designer paper. Grab a bunch of different colors, and away you go. All right, so I'm just going to use my Simply Chamois to clean the Memento Black off. And then we're going to use this here as a guide to be able to stamp. So I brought So Saffron because you could stamp off Daffodil Delight if you wanted, but so saffron would work. So we're going to try that out. And then soft succulent was it one of the colors? No, it was mint, but that's okay. We'll use soft succulent in its place because it's one of my favorite colors right now, along with Misty Moonlight. All right, so this does have, so we have this leaf, I was going to say punch, I don't know why. That leaf and this leaf will work with filling in some of the images. It won't do it perfectly. Ow. So there's one. You just kind of want it to fill it in a little bit. And it doesn't matter if you get some ink on the back of your cardstock. Okay. And I'm going to stamp off like the second time. See how it's a little lighter? So I do stamp and then stamp again. I kind of like the look of that. I wish I had done that with the other. That's okay. So stamp and stamp again. There we go. Okay, I think that's all for the mint, or sorry, the soft succulent. So I'm going to grab some of this Misty Moonlight and this one here and this one here, although I think I'm going to do the little one in yellow. So we'll hold off on that one for now. This is block B. I'm using A and B. I'm using all the blocks. All right, so this goes in there, but I'm also going to stamp it again over here, just a little bit extra color, well, a little bit of a difference, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. All right, so we do have a smaller, like these little flowers. You can kind of piecemeal them all, not really piecemeal, but you can kind of see where they all kind of fit together. So before I go on to the yellow, and you can stamp off right onto your whatever you have on your tabletop to protect it when you're stamping. So I recommend the Deluxe Foam Matte, but you can also use computer paper, scrap paper, or our grid paper we have as well. All right, so there's all our blue flowers filled in. Just put that over there. All right, so we'll see the difference here between the two yellows. Okay, first I'm going to do Daffodil Delight in half strength. Decide which way I want this to go. All right, clean that off real quick. And then into Saffron at full power. Move this around, try and get the, whoops. So they look pretty similar, don't they? Stamped off and full power Saffron. That's okay. All right, so, whoops, making a mess here. I do have one smaller flower. That's what I was looking for. This little flower. I stamp off the saffron. Oops, almost dropped my stamp. Okay, so now we have our stamped image that could look like designer paper. So the other thing you could do is, oops, I got a little ink. The other thing you could do is do up a big sheet of this with a bunch of colors and then cut it up and use it for your card. Or instead of creating that, you could use one of these other pieces to fill in. So then you don't have to do much stamping at all other than your words. All right, so a quick little wipe down here. Better not put that too far. Clear things off. There we go. All right, so now liquid glue. Just on the corners, one little dab in the center. I like having the deluxe foam mat or grid paper around just so I can see the lines, kind of, sort of. And try and get that to where I'd like it to go. Now a little bit of glue, and see I have some ink on the back of this, but no one's going to see the back. See the ink? Doesn't matter. No one's going to see it. So then this goes about here. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is sparkly. I don't know if you can see it. I kind of can't today. Let's see. Can you see the sparkle now? Kind of, sort of, not really. See a little sparkle? Anyway, I used shimmery white rather than basic white. I forgot that until I saw the sparkle. All right. So we have some Stampin' Dimensionals here. And you can cut them up or use the mini ones. There we go. Oh, yes. That's what I wanted to talk about. So there's this pack of cotton ribbon combo pack. And this is really close to the Misty Moonlight. And I think this is like Petal Pink, I want to say, roughly. Anyway, it's in the New Horizons suite. That's in the mini catalog, the January to June mini catalog. So I thought this would work really well with this, but I forgot about it when I was gluing things down. So I think we're just going to tie a bow. I think would be the easiest thing to do, because you could, I might be able to slide it under here. Ah, there we go. And just create a little, maybe I'll do this. This seems to be working. When you forget a step, you just have to improvise. There we go. And grab my paper snips. Snip. And come on, snip. There we go. A little bit of ribbon on there. Maybe put a little glue dot under there in a little bit. But probably don't. It probably doesn't need a glue dot. It's really not going to go anywhere. If you're really concerned, I put a little bit of glue under that one edge. All right, and then there we go. I wanted a nice bright card, but to me, this might be a little bright. What do you think? Is it too bright, or is it just perfect to brighten up a winter's day? So thanks for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed this card using the hand-penned suite found in the annual catalog. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know of anyone who would enjoy watching it and learning how to make this card, send them the video. Have a great day.